What's going on, everybody? This is Cohen here with Triple Threat Sports Podcast. I'm with my co-hosts Rudy and Harrison right here, and we're going to get started.
All right. First off, we got breaking news. Matt Canada is out at the Steelers. So, Rudy, what do you think?
The guy went 23-20-1 and only lost his single playoff game. Dude was horrible. He consistently made all his players look horrific. Dude could not do anything with all the weapons he had available to him.
I completely agree. Matt Canada needed to be gone.
Dude, he ruined Kenny Pickett.
Yeah,
I know the guy's not very good.
I think that this is helping the Steelers. In no way is it hurting them.
No way hurting them.
Agreed. I saw something the other day that it was like over 50 games since they've gone for more than 400 yards, and it's like by far the biggest streak in the NFL. So
It's ridiculous.
yeah, I think they should hire Jimbo Fisher, an offensive-minded
Jimbo.
coach. So
Yeah.
maybe we can rekindle that magic from FSU that he kind of lost back in Texas.
Texas, yeah.
So, yeah.
I like that.
Yep. Now we're going to move on to Kyler Murray. Should he stay in Arizona or should they get rid of him this offseason?
They need to keep him.
They need Kyler
He's
Murray.
not the problem right now.
Kyler Murray is not
Their
the problem
defense
at all.
is the problem.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're
I
starting to
completely
like
agree.
nobody is on the defensive line. Like their secondary is they're starting Marco Wilson at cornerback. Like when you have Marco Wilson starting at cornerback and like a
You got a problem.
sixth-round pick, you have a problem.
You got a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, you lost Byron Murphy. I don't know why you didn't try and keep him.
Right.
Buda Baker
Isaiah
is
Simmons, too, in the offseason. They only got like a
I
fifth
mean-
rounder
Buda
for
Baker
him,
has
which
injury
was-
issues.
You know it's
Traded Isaiah
bad.
Simmons.
When, from a fantasy standpoint, you have a quarterback who's playing Arizona, you want to start that quarterback.
It could be
Yeah.
like
It's-
Tommy DeVito,
yeah.
who went for
Yeah.
like 300 yards.
Tommy
and
DeVito,
3
who I will
touchdowns.
talk about
Yeah,
later.
I
Tommy
would,
DeVito
I would start Tommy
is
DeVito
back.
over anyone if he's playing the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Right.
That
That's
touchdown to
one of the
Saquon
defenses
Barkley
you want to
was-
look for from a fantasy standpoint. If your quarterback
Yeah.
is playing the Cardinals,
Start.
auto start.
Start.
Yeah.
I don't care who it is.
Yeah, I don't care. You have
Absolutely.
I don't care if you have
Auto
Mahomes.
start.
I don't care if you have Mahomes. Start Tommy DeVito. He's
Yeah.
playing the Cardinals.
Right.
Yeah. No, I completely agree.
Yeah, they got to take Marvin Harrison at the draft if they can get him. Or
They need a true receiver one. They don't have it anymore. They
No,
lost
they
D-Hop. Now you have
Hollywood Brown.
Hollywood
Hollywood
Brown.
Brown, Rondell Moore.
And they're just not
Michael
getting it done. They're
Wilson.
too
you have
inconsistent.
you have a lot of wide receiver two.
Trey
wide receiver three
McBride's
guys.
really good though.
They
Trey
do.
McBride
Yeah,
is-
Trey McBride.
He's elite.
That is
He's a
facts.
top 10 tight end, maybe borderline, I think. But
It's so hard to tell with tight ends because I mean they're either going
They're
to
all-
go for
yeah,
5
they're-
yards or 50 every week and a touchdown. So you never really
you
know.
get 3
I
touchdowns. You
completely
can
agree.
Yeah,
catch a like.
just depends on the
A
defensive
baseball.
scheme. Yeah.
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 So,
All right. Next up, we've got the Bengals. Are they going to win another game this
Any
year?
given Sunday, all right. Any given they might win 2. All right, their schedule.
Okay.
They're against the Steelers, Jacksonville. They're against the Colts, the Vikings, the Steelers again, the Chiefs on Christmas Eve, or no, it's New Year's Eve, and then they're against the Browns. Okay, Pittsburgh. They could trade off Pittsburgh. They could win one, because this week they're gonna get a new offensive coordinator, so they're gonna be
Yep.
a little sloppy with that new coordinator.
I agree
Or
with that.
they're going to
Hopefully.
be like
Or they're gonna
super
be
happy
elite.
that he's
Yeah.
gone,
And
they're
just
gonna
go
crazy.
off.
Insane.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's kind of
Jacksonville-
a coin flip there, I
Yeah,
think.
Jacksonville. I think they could get a win if Trevor Lawrence, because he's
Trevor
very
Lawrence
inconsistent.
is a dog.
He's
Okay,
good.
All right.
I am a
Homer-
Clemson guy, big
Okay,
Clemson guy, but
Jacksonville was like the biggest poverty franchise in the league like 2 or 3
That's
years
what I'm
ago.
saying.
And now they're
Doug
7.
you get the Clemson
Dude,
backfield,
Oh my God.
and look what happened.
They're good.
That's
They're
all
good.
I'm
If they
saying.
get Trevor Etienne
The Trevor and
out
Travis
of
do
Miami, that
I'm
would be
telling you.
insane. Like next few years.
Yep.
Then they're against the
Oh.
Colts, the Richardson-less Colts. So
Oh,
Yeah.
with
Gardner
So
Minshew.
they're
You got
not-
Gardner
Gardner Minshew's
Minshew in
great.
there.
Uncle Rico throw football over the mountains.
You got-
And their defense is still great.
You got
Yeah,
JT
they're-
back,
Yeah.
who
They have Shaquille Leonard.
yeah.
Who, I
Right.
mean, he's a top
You got-
linebacker in the NFL.
You got Pittman,
Pittman.
who's a,
He's
who's a low end wide
Low end wide
receiver.
receiver one,
But
high
you
end
have
wide
Josh
receiver two.
Downs.
Josh Downs is a slot.
Who-
Who? How he fell to like the 3rd, 4th round, I don't know. He was my number one
That-
slot.
He was,
I
yeah,
like-
he was number
I
he was
like
first
Josh
round,
Downs a
lot.
like his sophomore year or something like
Yeah.
that.
And then he's like, yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I like Josh Downs a lot of the wide
And
receivers.
then
Yeah.
you get the Vikings. We're losing that. Josh Dobbs.
Josh Dobbs.
The Bengals have a history-
Josh Dobbs.
Oh.
Astronaut, baby.
Passed or not. The Bengals have a history of
I picked up
losing
Josh
games.
Dobbs in all of my
You
leagues.
better.
Yeah.
Dude is
He's
a
him.
dog.
Bengals have a trend of losing the backup quarterback.
Yep.
We lost to Mike White in 2021. We let him throw for the most yards in any debut ever. He had 4 touchdowns on us.
Mike White
They
had 400 yards.
They won the
before
game off
Steelers did.
this horrible spearing play when the running back speared Mike Hilton and flagged Mike Hilton friggin' speared.
Oh, my.
I was upset all day that day. And then Steelers again. They'll probably, like I said, coin flip. Then Chiefs. Oh, we're getting cooked.
You're
We're
not,
getting
You're not beating the
cooked.
Chiefs.
On New Year's Eve,
On
And you got the
New Year-
Browns.
Then the Browns, we can win the Browns.
You can win the Browns.
maybe.
Maybe.
It depends on how.
Who's starting?
Yeah, it
If
depends
Flacco
on
starts, then we might win. But if if DTR wins, or if PJ Walker wins, if PJ Walker, man, if he throws that
Yeah.
65
PJ
yard
Walker's
Hail Mary
actually
again,
crazy. Yeah.
as long as Amari Cooper doesn't take his helmet off like DJ Moore, then I think
Yeah.
I think we should be fine.
Yep.
I think we should be fine.
I was thinking that the Bengals should tank for Brock Bowers.
Please.
I would
please,
love
Yeah.
please.
Brock Bowers,
Brock
Georgia
Bowers,
tight end,
we could get
going
Jones.
absolutely insane this
Right.
year. I would love to see Brock Bowers
If we
on the Cincinnati
trade-
Brock
Bengals.
Bowers, if he didn't get hurt, is a Heisman contender.
Yep.
If we trade
So-
Jonah Williams, who's had like a really good season for switching from right tackle, his first round pick a few years ago. If we trade him, get a good pick, trade that pick for a first round pick, we get Joe Alt or Olu Fashanu somehow. I mean, our tackle position
Yeah.
would be solid, especially with the Orlando Brown.
You need to help.
Left
Need
side.
to help Joe, man.
Although we do need a guard because Cordell Volson.
He's been sacked more than Andrew Luck in his career.
So is Tom
Like,
Brady.
It was insane.
Tom Brady also. Sack.
What do you
I
mean?
wouldn't take advantage. I wouldn't take those sacks into consideration because all those young quarterbacks take a lot of sacks.
Yeah, I mean, like the tackles just weren't blocking for him at all. Like he was getting,
See,
they were
our
getting around the
tackles
outside within 2 seconds.
Our tackles used to be the problem, but it's our inside now. Like
Right.
defenses will only target our left guard because Cordell Volson is having the massive sophomore slump. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just our line. We need to fire our line coach because he's Frank Pollock, dude. Oh my
All right,
God,
all right,
classic.
Rudy, we got to calm you
Yeah.
down, man.
All
We got to
right.
calm you down.
He's about to
On
go
this
crazy.
Bengals talk.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah, they
this
might-
next topic.
One second. They might squeak out a couple wins, but they're not a playoff
No
contender.
playoffs,
The way they are right now, if they find a quarterback, they might be.
maybe.
But I don't think Browning is the answer. But yeah, Bryce Young.
This next topic is going to fuel my fire, everybody.
Is his
I'm
Bengals-
lit. I'm hot right
Yeah.
now. Me and Harrison attended the game on Sunday versus Dallas.
Ridiculous.
Might have been one of the worst quarterback performances I've ever seen. Definitely live.
Mhm.
Almost ever. Patriots. Patriots. The Panthers have lost the last 3 games. Bryce Young has passed for 2 touchdowns through those 3, and only 4 on the year. He has 9 total, 62.1% completion percentage throughout his season this year, and he has 8 interceptions. What are we thinking for Bryce Young?
I think it's rookie growing pains without receivers because when you have Adam Thielen, DJ Chark, Jonathan Mingo.
That is a good point.
That
'cause
is
Chark
a
has been absolutely
horrific
non-existent.
What,
wide receiver
Chark?
core. Shai
I don't
Smith,
know.
Terrace Marshall, it's a horrible receiver core.
It is a bad receiver core. You don't have a true wide receiver 1. But
He's
I
not even
still,
coming close to him.
dude,
Not
when
even
I was
close.
there on Sunday, they were trying to force feed the ball to Adam Thielen, which from
Yeah.
a fantasy standpoint I
Yeah,
love.
start Thielen.
Yeah,
I
start
did not.
Thielen.
Oh my
I did
God.
not start him for some reason. I don't know why because he was against Deron Bland at corner and. Speaking of
yeah.
Deron
Oh,
Bland,
yeah, he had
Yeah, oh.
another pick
Pick six, Merchant.
Another pick 6.
Another
which-
pick 6.
It was pretty easy.
Another
to Bryce
pick-
Young threw
right
right
to
at
him.
it.
Another
dude.
throw to the flat. Every Bryce Young throw to the
It
flat
is.
I've seen.
It's so
always pick
disappointing.
six.
It
Oh my
is.
gosh.
He needs
It's
to put zip on the
terrible.
ball.
Yep,
He just doesn't put zip
yep,
on the ball.
I know.
It's horrible.
I completely agree, Lee.
Yeah, Bryce Young is not looking like the answer right now. I think they got to put Andy Dalton in for
I-
the rest
yeah.
of the
Me too.
year.
That's
Andy
exactly what I'm
Dalton,
thinking.
Let him get some more time in practice to calm down, make his throws, go through his progression.
I have that written down right here. Bryce
Be
isn't
better
playing well.
next
Put
year.
him behind your bit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because Andy Dalton, he's been proven to like help those rookies facilitate
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
skills.
He helped
so-
Justin Fields become a better passer.
Right. Well,
Well,
not incredible,
hopefully,
but a little better.
hopefully in the future he will.
Yeah.
But
That's not all his fault either, though. Because
Oh.
Mooney's been completely non-existent.
Speaking of the Bears, there went DJ Moore, the wide receiver 1 that the Panthers could have had, but
Right.
he's gone. To get
and they
Bryce,
traded him for
who is-
Bryce
Yep.
when they
For
could have had
Bryce Young.
C.J. Stroud.
And
Could
the
have
next three.
could have
had
drafted
CJ
CJ
Stroud.
Stroud, who was doing big
Who was
things.
an
He was
in
an
MVP
Houston.
candidate.
MVP this year.
He is the MVP.
Yeah.
He is.
Him or Tyreek.
As of right now, I'm liking CJ Stroud for the MVP as a rookie.
Lock it in.
If he brings
Minus 200.
if he wins a playoff game with the Texans, I don't think there's any doubt because the Texans have not been good since Deshaun was like
since that
since it was like
2019
pre-massage
Since you-
parlor Deshaun.
Yeah,
like,
since you had Deshaun with D Hop, that Clemson connection, baby.
pre-happy ending Deshaun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's not.
Okay, let's chill. Let's chill. All right, Bryce Young, man.
All right, moving on to fan questions. We've got one that I know we're all excited to talk
Oh,
about.
Oh
man.
yeah.
From Owen Highsmith,
Oh.
is CeeDee Lamb a top 5 receiver?
No,
No.
no,
Not in
even
any alternate
close.
universe.
Nope.
Is that man a top 5?
he's not a top 5
No.
receiver.
He is the most inconsistent wide receiver in football.
He was not good until like 3 weeks ago. I don't know how he all of a sudden came back and
But
like
the
That's
went
what I'm,
crazy,
dude.
yeah.
It was out of nowhere. too.
Just all of a sudden started dropping 150 yards.
Cowboys did sign Martavius Bryant to their practice squad. Old Clemson guy just got off his
The
suspension.
for
Yeah,
like
right.
substance abuse.
So I'd love to see him make a comeback. CD from a fantasy standpoint, that's what I'm going to talk about. He scored 214.7 points through the first 11 weeks, averaging 21.5 points per game, which is pretty dang good. He's rostered in 99% of leagues. Third position rank, only behind Tyreek and Keenan Allen, who are two absolute studs at receiver.
Speaking of Keenan Allen, Mr. Drops over here.
Yeah.
Dropped 2 touchdowns, 3 drops.
Killed
in
my
that game.
fantasy week. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Especially that Quentin Johnson drop. Whew.
CD did have a really bad game versus the Panthers, but he still put up 16.5 fantasy points. That's what you want. But the touchdown arguably saved him.
Yeah.
Arguably saved him this week.
Yeah.
Because I just don't think CD is making a team into something great. I don't think he's going to
He's-
take a
yeah.
team on his back.
He's
if
not
it
a
comes
cha- he's
down
not a
to
game
it.
changer.
He's not.
He's not. He's not.
He's not at
He
all.
thrived in that wide receiver 2 role with Amari Cooper on the
Yes,
Right.
yes,
He-
that
he
was
did,
when he
absolutely.
Him
thrived.
and Michael
Yep.
Pittman should not be wide receiver 1s on the team.
They should
No.
not. They
T.
should.
Higgins should.
They are strong receiver twos.
Very
Yes.
strong. They're
Very
elite
strong.
wide receiver
Yep.
2s. But they just.
CD is the strongest wide receiver 2 in the league.
Oh, yeah.
He's when he's doubled, he's not getting the ball. We
I
saw
know.
it the other day.
Well,
He
yeah.
went up and got it, and then it went through his hands.
Like
So he's just not. He's not quite.
he was
there.
upset. He's also
Not there
questionable
yet.
this week. I saw him. I did see him
Limping
limping
off
off the
the field, wasn't
sideline. Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
him limping to the sideline. He's questionable for this week with an ankle injury, but I think he should play. So that's interesting. But we'll see.
Anything else on that one?
I don't think so.
All right, moving on to the next question. This is from George Ash. Can LeBron be that guy for a team that brings him to a championship? I personally don't think so anymore because he doesn't really have to.
Yeah.
He's got Anthony Davis. And,
I mean, well, outside of Anthony Davis, who else does he have? D'Angelo Russell? Roy Hachimura? Dennis Schroeder? He doesn't have
he's
anyone
got
else.
Austin Reeves.
I mean, yeah, but
I mean,
that's true. They did just lock him up, but like
yeah.
those aren't guys who are going to carry you in the clutch.
He doesn't have.
No,
that.
but I mean, he did do that in Cleveland with, J.R. Smith and
I mean, yeah.
other
he doesn't
guys.
have.
I mean,
He doesn't have a big three.
But I mean,
He does
yeah.
not.
He
And
doesn't
that's
have
the,
He doesn't
Dwayne
have-
Wade.
or
He doesn't have
Bosh.
Chris
He doesn't have
Bosh.
I mean,
So
they
he
got
really
sw-
He doesn't have
Yeah.
Kyrie, Kevin Love.
they got swept in the conference finals versus the Nuggets.
Yeah.
I mean,
who did go on to win the championship.
still,
pretty
but,
easily.
I mean, if you're getting,
But-
if you're LeBron James and you're not letting your team, but like, if you're the GOAT, and LeBron is the GOAT.
LeBron is our
Our
generation's
generation.
Oh, he's
GOAT.
our
I have it
generation.
written
Our
down
generation's
right
GOAT.
here
Yeah.
in bold.
But I mean, if you're gonna allow your team to get swept in the finals, and I understand they have the best player in basketball, who is pretty much a quarterback at basketball, due to the greatest pass perception I've ever seen in my life. But if you're gonna get swept, especially in the playoffs, I don't think you don't have that dog in you anymore. You don't have that chasing people down and blocking the ball at the rim anymore. Like you don't have that in you anymore.
I think sadly LeBron's just playing to try to
Throw the
get a
Suns?
season with Bronny.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I can see
Which
that.
could be electric.
So,
I mean,
Yeah.
So-
Or he's gonna go to a crazy team like LeBron to the Suns for $5 an hour. I don't know. Like,
janitor wage.
Yeah.
I could see him doing that just to win another.
just to win another one. I
championship.
mean,
So,
LeBron-
hey,
LeBron
ring
and the
chasing, baby. You can't hate on
Yeah.
it.
LeBron to the Magic. Let's do it.
no.
No.
I don't think he'd work well with the Magic.
No.
I doubt it. We already
Orlando.
have
Yeah.
a good power forward.
I don't
power
think
point
Cuban's gonna let him run the team like he'd want to.
guard.
So.
No.
But yeah. Moving on. This kind of goes with the Bryce Young stuff we talked about a minute ago, but Jeffrey Gray asked if the Panthers' rebuilding excuse is still a valid excuse.
No.
No.
You've been rebuilding
They're
for
horrible.
a long
Yeah.
time.
You can't be rebuilding if you just trade away all your picks and you're tanking.
Yep.
How do you tank?
How
without
do
a
you
first
tank
round?
without a first round draft
The
pick?
point
That
of
is
tanking.
exactly what
the
I'm
point
saying.
of tanking is getting a better draft pick. If you don't have a draft pick, why aren't you just selling the team out to try and
They're
win
literally
the game?
all they're doing right now is the Bears are just
Up.
there they go.
The Bears could lose a game and still get the Bears. During that Thursday night football game against the Panthers, they had no way they could have lost. If they lost the game, they still would have had a better draft pick because they lost. If they won, they still would have had a better draft pick because the Panthers lost.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
they had zero way to lose that game.
Yep.
Zero. There's not a single way they lost.
It's a great position to be in though.
It is amazing.
I mean, you look.
I mean-
they have DJ Moore. They have Justin Fields, who
You have Darnell
arguably
Mooney. Who, I
They
mean,
you might
a
want
bunch
to
of
get rid
picks
of,
next
but
year.
they have
Yeah,
the picks
they
they
could trade
need.
Darnell Mooney and get 3 of the top 5 picks.
Exactly.
The Bears, man.
They
The
just
Bears could be
Bears could be.
They need a
absolutely
receiver and they
disgusting.
need defense.
They
They need someone to pair
yeah,
DJ Moore.
They need a
And they
good
got to
receiver.
keep Justin Fields healthy so he can be more consistent.
Or kick him out the door.
Tyson Bagent or get Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams.
Caleb
Either way.
Williams.
Caleb Williams on the Bears, man. That just something
it
sounds
They
right.
definitely, they're
That
definitely
sounds
not,
right.
They're definitely not going to draft Drake May
Yeah,
after
no.
the Trubisky stuff.
No.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah.
They're having NC North
Yeah.
Carolina flashbacks right
Yeah,
now.
they got
Yep.
PTSD from the last Carolina guy. So.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, he made a Pro Bowl. He won
He made
MVP,
the Pro Bowl.
Nickelodeon Valuable Player.
That's
No,
hilarious.
Saints playoff game.
Yeah, now he's sitting behind Kenny Pickett.
He did like 73 passing yards. Yeah, MVP.
He couldn't even start for Matt Canada.
Yeah, bench for Matt Canada. That's
It's
crazy.
hilarious.
Man.
But yeah, the Panthers rebuild is no longer a good excuse at all.
I mean, it's sad, man.
Not
Just,
even close.
Honestly,
just seeing
they're-
that
yeah.
stadium on Sunday.
Oh man, it
was
all
a home
Cowboys
game.
It was a
for the
Cowboys home
Cowboys
game.
Cowboys fan.
Everywhere I walked,
It was terrible.
Cowboys.
Cowboys home game.
It was sad, man.
Yeah, it was
They
pretty
brought the
pathetic.
cheerleaders at that point.
Sheesh.
I just can't
wish.
believe, like, just a few years ago, we were in the Super Bowl. But anyway, moving on. We got a question from Sarah Gray. Travis or Jason Kelsey? Rudy?
Playing wise, they're both the best in their position by
Yeah.
far. I mean,
Oh,
the only
not close.
Oh, by far.
well,
Not close.
Jason maybe not.
Who's better than Travis?
No one.
I don't know if anyone's better than Travis,
But
but I wouldn't
Jason-
say it's by far. You got
Jason-
T.J. Hawkinson.
Yeah,
TJ
Hawkinson,
Hawkinson's not
Kittle's
Andrews-
been going off.
Andrews-
From a fantasy standpoint,
Kittle's
George
way
Kittle is
too
the hottest
inconsistent.
receiver.
Way
George-
too
yeah.
big.
He's had 20 points the last 3
George
weeks.
Kittle.
What was it before then, though? He had like one
That is
20
true.
George Kittle is
game.
the definition of inconsistent.
Oh,
He
yeah.
I mean,
is.
they'll either
Yeah, he
block
played
him,
good against Dallas and then like
Yeah.
slept for
they'll
4
either
weeks.
block him the whole game, which I
Right.
mean, he is an
He's a great
amazing
blocker. Yeah. He's best
Yeah.
blocking tight end
Best-
right now.
I mean, yeah.
That can still
we just,
catch.
We just haven't seen more out of Darnell Washington on the Steelers yet.
Right,
It's Matt
right.
Canada. Once again,
Right.
Matt Canada. But I think
Travis Kelsey is the best tight end in
Jason
the game
Kelsey, you can make an
currently. I can
argument
agree
for
with
Creed
that.
Humphrey. You can make an argument.
You could. Creed Humphrey has more longevity, so like from a if I were trying to go get a center right now,
Yeah, I would
Creed
agree.
Humphrey.
Because
But
he's younger.
yeah,
And he's like.
but
Pro
Jason
Bowl
has just
caliber,
been
but
dominant for so long.
He's a first
yeah.
ballot Hall of
And
Famer.
he has the
And
best
Jason
play in
is
football
winning
right
at
now.
life
Jason.
right now.
Yeah.
Both of these
Both of
guys
them.
are winning at life right now.
I mean, they have Christmas albums.
Right.
Dude, he's belching right now on those Christmas albums.
You want to
Jason-
talk about this too? Jason is the sole reason that the most consistent play in football is happening, which is
Yeah.
the tush
The
push.
brotherly
push, yeah.
shove needs to get banned. I'm done with
Needs
it.
to get banned.
Okay,
Why?
all I'm saying, Jalen Hurts is gonna get injured, and then everyone's gonna be like, "Why didn't we ban this last year?"
No. The
He's-
tush push is the definition of a good new inventing team
Yeah.
who's just inventing a play that can't be
I mean,
stopped.
You're not wrong.
You
It's
can't
the first person
hate
to do
on
the
a
jet
team.
sweep. I mean,
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
The RPO.
yeah.
So
Like,
yeah, I see your point.
They've reinvented that play.
They've
and
reinvented it.
they've
It's
made
just
good.
and it's
Like,
great.
And they're the only ones who are
And
good
until
at it.
defense
You'll see.
decide they
And-
can stop it.
And
then
let
it's
me
gonna keep
tell
going.
you, that put me in first place in fantasy. Jalen Hurts
The
put
touchdown.
up 18 points, and so my boy lost and beat Alex, and now I'm in first place in my
I mean,
side
you'll
of
see.
the division.
You'll see
for
other
fantasy.
teams trying to run the tush push, and it just doesn't work.
It's not working.
It doesn't work.
Like you
And
can't hate on the
defenses-
team.
Defenses cannot stop.
like
They've
you-
only stopped it one time.
They can do the exact same thing.
And like the only way they stop it is by jumping over people, and that's how you allow
Right.
yards. If you
Yeah.
don't time that perfectly, you're like have the space in the middle of the field that's just wide
Yeah.
open. Because
And
your
Hurts can just
linebacker's
run.
gone. He's
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
So you have
But
a
I don't think
wide
Hurts
open
is
guy.
going to get injured doing that though, because Travis Kelsey's on the ground underneath him, so he's going to fall onto a 300-pound center.
Yeah.
Jason Kelsey.
So Jason
Yeah,
Jason Kelsey
Jason.
Kelsey might be the
Yeah.
only one getting hurt.
Yeah,
So-
which hopefully he doesn't.
Which,
'cause
yeah,
I love
that would
Jason
be even
The
worse.
beard.
Jason Kelsey is flat out funnier than Travis
Kelsey.
Kelsey.
You'd want
I
foul.
agree. I
Travis
love
Kelsey is cringe.
Yeah.
He can be.
You got
yeah.
what is he like? A
Jabroni.
jabroni?
Jabroni.
Like,
Actually,
get
yeah,
out
that
of
says
here.
that.
Get
Jabroni.
out of here.
Yeah, they're
I
both
just-
they're both incredible.
They're both good,
They're
but I
both
just think
winning life, and then
Yep.
I just
And
think Jason's funnier.
Jason is
Yeah.
funnier, and he's better for the podcast, in
Yeah.
our opinion. Or my
Agreed.
opinion, I shouldn't speak for
Oh
us.
yeah.
But yeah.
All right, moving on. We got to talk about Bill Belichick in New England. Will he get fired this year? Will they move on from him? And if they do, where will he end up going?
Fired is the wrong word. He's going to mutually resign,
Yeah.
aka he is getting fired. But I think the Chargers would be a good place for him to be because Brandon Staley.
Ooh,
is
I like that take.
And
The
I
media
like
is
that.
getting
Herbert-
I like
Brandon
that a
right now.
Justin
lot.
Herbert with a good coach and a defensive-minded coach because their defense has been horrific.
Can we just branch off for a minute and talk about that interview?
Brandon Staley.
Brandon
Oh,
Staley's
I'm
interview.
never giving a play calling.
That is-
offense.
that-
Don't ask me again.
don't ask
That
me
is
a
not,
question.
That's not a leader.
Like,
That-
come on.
Not at all.
That is a child.
I
It's
did
the
not
same
like
thing that
that.
happened with Josh McDaniels when he told the new interim coach for them, is like, "Don't you ever disrespect me in a meeting." Like,
Don't you ever
Yeah.
respect Patriots ever again?
Like,
Yeah.
come
You're
on.
the Raiders head coach.
exactly.
How-
Know where your loyalties
Time out.
lie.
Yo, how are the Chargers losing games?
The only explanation is Brandon Staley.
That's
Because they
all
have
I'm
an
saying.
incredible
You have
team.
Justin Herbert,
Derwin
who's
James
on
the
a
other
crazy
side.
good quarterback.
I mean, like, you
have
can't
a
just-
true receiver
Yeah.
one.
Like,
Yeah.
you can't
And a
allow,
receiver too.
And a
John
receiver,
Johnson.
yeah, and Mike Williams when he
Yeah,
comes back.
Right.
I mean, you can't Justin Fields, Herbert, my bad. You can't allow him to have to throw shootouts every game.
Yeah,
Right.
When the guy can't just take a day off, be a general manager for a game because your defense is allowing like probably an average of 21 points a game. I mean,
No,
that's
it has
not,
to be
it's
more
not
than that.
sustainable. You
It's-
can't
yeah.
win game. You allowed the Jacksonville Jaguars in their first season with their head coach to what was it, like a 28 to like 6 lead or something,
Yeah.
28 to 0, and win in the playoff. That's where it matters.
Yeah.
You can't let that happen when it matters.
Right.
And then he's like going for like unnecessary play, like going for it on fourth down when they're up by 3 on their own 30. Like, what do you?
Again, from a
Horrible.
fantasy standpoint, I love starting my players who are playing the Chargers because you know it's
Same
going to
with-
be a shootout.
Same with the Cardinals.
Same, yep. Cardinals.
But for the
and
other reason,
And you know
Chargers.
you love starting Justin Herbert because even if he throws 4
It's going to
picks,
be a
he's still
shootout.
got 6
Yeah, it's going to be a
yards.
shootout.
Yeah.
So that's why I
500
love.
Yeah.
500 yards, 5 touchdowns.
I love
three
watching
rounds.
picks, yeah.
watching those games and starting my players in
Like,
those games.
Herbert is just the definition of consistent.
Yep.
Right. Consistently getting
Consistent.
screwed by his coach.
That's
yeah,
it.
and his
Yep.
defense and his receivers.
I'm
Quentin
sorry for taking that off.
Quentin
Yeah.
Johnston drop
Gosh.
was heartbreaking.
It's terrible.
This is the season of drop passes. Tyler Boyd dropping that game-winning
Man.
touchdown.
Yeah.
MVS
Speaking
last
of
night.
Marcus Valdez Scantling
MVS
dropping
last
that
night,
touchdown.
bro.
we got to talk about the Chiefs real quick.
Oh my goodness.
Well, let's finish Belichick and then we'll talk about the Chiefs. So, yes, Belichick will leave New England.
Yeah.
And he's probably going to the Chargers.
he could go.
I would like that.
I mean,
I would love
Yeah.
to see him in Carolina too.
I would
He would
too.
never
As
go
a
there.
as
I
a
don't think
Panthers
he
fan,
would,
I would
but
love
I would
that.
love to see him in
But
Carolina.
but I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't
so.
think he's got the mental dexterity to coddle
yeah.
Bryce.
Oh, yeah.
No.
So pull up in the Bill Belichick costume.
Yeah.
Next podcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, on to the Chiefs. So, this is probably the worst we've seen their receiving core.
Oh yeah.
It's
Can
awful.
they do anything in the playoffs with a team like this that's
No.
not putting up points, despite their defense being better than it's been in the entire time that Mahomes has been there?
Travis
Yeah.
Kelce is amazing.
Yeah.
But you can't rely on him
Then he
every
fumbled
single
last-
play.
yeah.
I
because
know.
when they
Like,
do,
when he
then
makes
he
a
gets
mistake,
triple
their
teamed.
team is
Yeah.
screwed. Like, I mean, you can never count out Mahomes.
Mahomes is a
Hall,
dog.
he's a Hall of Famer already.
He's a
And
dog.
what I will say about Mahomes, I'm really glad he hasn't trashed his team because
Yeah.
he had every right to do so this year.
Yeah.
He's been
I mean,
he's been sold by his team almost every game. That
they were going to
lost.
start Justin Ross. Was it Justin Watson? Justin Ross, that Clemson guy.
Justin Ross, yeah.
Before he got arrested.
right,
Yeah, he got arrested for
but
like.
he's been screwed
I
by
hate
his
that,
team
man.
so much.
I hate that
I mean,
for
when
Justin
you're
Ross.
trying to start Justin Ross, Marcus Valdez Scantling, and Juju Smith-Schuster's wide receiver one last year.
That's
I
yeah.
know.
I mean, it's
Kadarius
just
You'll see
Toney.
Juju.
Tyreek
Kadarius
left,
Toney.
and the production has
Everyone
just
left.
not been there.
Nico Hardman has been silent since he came back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about
Yeah.
Nico.
I didn't even know. I forgot he was on the team actually.
Yeah.
Like-
I forgot he was on the Jets, and then they traded him. I remembered for like 2 days,
And
and
then I
then
forgot
he didn't
again.
do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do we think about Pacheco?
He runs like he. I mean, I know his backstory
I
is sad.
love
but
his
his
running,
backstory
yeah.
is sad. All
They
his
got to
stuff,
get him the
yeah.
ball more in space.
But he runs like
Right.
this is the last run of his life.
They got to throw the ball to him more.
Then
'Cause,
yeah.
if he keeps
Throw
running
it to
between
flat.
tackles, he's going to keep getting hurt because he's not shining.
Throw it
away
to the
from
flat
hit.
and don't pull a Bryce Young.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, hey, Mahomes has better arm strength than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Pick machine.
But
No
yeah, I
can tell
don't
I'm
think
hot about the
I don't think
Panthers.
the Chiefs are really going to, unless they can have some more consistency from people like Scantling,
Yeah.
where he played like he did in the Super Bowl last year. If they can find ways to get the receivers to do that, then they may be okay. But
Maybe.
otherwise, I think they're probably going to go out in one of the first 2 rounds.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
So, yeah. All right, moving on to the Browns. They just signed Joe Flacco, but they have a pretty decent rookie in at quarterback right now. So, what do we think the Browns are going to do for the rest of the season, and will they be able to make a push in the playoffs with whatever they end up doing?
No.
I think if they start Joe Flacco, they're giving up. When I can see that how they would give up, just because although the division is wide open, but losing your quarterback for the year. I mean, I know that feeling. Joe
Yeah.
Burrow's out.
Yeah,
for
I
the
mean,
season.
right.
Rudy
I don't
knows
even
it
know-
best.
I don't even know if I'll watch another game, but like
You definitely will.
I
But.
will. But I mean, if you start Joe
Cry
Flacco,
in
you've
the
given
corner.
up. I mean, Joe Flacco he's not going to win you games. The dude is like what, almost 40 years old. He's a he's a game manager.
manager,
At this
yeah.
point, he is a general manager, not even playing at all.
Right, yeah.
But I mean,
Just
if you-
grooming young quarterbacks.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean,
So I
Oh,
probably
my
should've-
Deshaun, yeah.
Come on.
All right,
All right.
let's
And
let's
then
get off that.
Dorian Thompson Robinson.
Said Deshaun.
Dorian Thompson Robinson has the potential. I'm not saying he is, but has the potential if he shows any sort of promise to. I know they won't, but bench Deshaun next year and start Dorian Thompson.
They won't do that. They've sunk too much money
Yeah,
into him. But I
they're
see what you're
dedicated,
saying.
but, like,
Thompson
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
be baby Lamar if they let him
Baby
do what
Lamar,
he needs
exactly.
to do.
I see some shades of Dak Prescott.
So yeah, I think he will leave this year if he has a good season.
Oh, yeah.
Because he won't start over Deshaun, but he has so many different places he could go. I think he'll probably go to a team that'll use him in the run game, like Carolina. Maybe if Tampa Bay drafts a running back, they could put him in there. They could do RPOs with them.
Imagine the Buccaneers with like Travion Anderson or Blake Horn.
Right.
Because
They-
Rashawn White is not the answer.
The Buccaneers,
Rashawn
could be,
White is not the
Buccaneers could be
answer.
good in a couple years.
A couple of years.
Yeah.
Baker is not.
If they rebuild, not like Carolina.
Yeah,
if
just
they
don't pull a
if they
Carolina.
rebuild like the Jaguars.
You got
not
Mike
the
Evans and
Panthers.
Chris Godwin. That's a good
Exactly.
receiving
Right.
core.
Yeah.
For a
Russell-
couple of
Russell
good
Gage-
defense.
they're not going to be
Russell
around
Gage, if he
forever.
wasn't
though.
injured.
Yeah.
They're not going to be around forever though.
No,
they're
that's
getting
true.
towards the end
Mike,
of their
Mike
careers.
Evans, although he's still a dog, he's
Yeah.
old. He's what, 30?
He's 30, which is really old for
Really old for a
skill
receiver,
player,
especially
yeah.
if someone's putting up. Like he was known for his like
Yeah.
physical style of play, going up and grabbing it all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
He's going to
So-
get knocked
He's
out
still
of the
putting
air
up
and be hurt
solid.
for 3
He's
weeks.
still putting up solid fantasy points though. I like Mike Evans
is.
from a fantasy standpoint.
Start
Yeah,
start,
I don't
start
think.
Mike Evans.
Yeah, I don't think Joe Flacco is going to be the answer for them. But Joe Flacco hadn't been the answer any of the places he's went since he was the Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
I think he'll be good for getting Thompson's throwing better though.
Yeah, because
So-
Thompson needs to.
That's
yeah.
they needed just
He
like
can help him
Andy
with his
Dalton.
mechanics and everything.
Just
That
like Andy
quarterbacks-
Dalton should be starting.
and
for
it'll
the
be
Panthers.
nice to have somebody pushing him because DRT did not have anybody.
Yeah, DTR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
DT,
I like that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to the Jets. Is
This is our
it
final
too
topic.
late? Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
Yeah, we got.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Moving on to the Jets, we have Aaron Rodgers wants to come back in December. Will it be too late? The Jets are 4-6
They're 4-6 on a 3-game skid.
on a 3-game.
They have to win out.
They have to win out
Zach Wilson just got benched.
for Tim Boyle.
Yeah.
Zach Wilson is
Which
third.
Boyle,
on
he
that
came in for he came in this time last year for the Lions
Yeah.
and played really well, or maybe it was 2 years ago.
Does he do it again
Yeah,
though?
cheers,
Can he do it again?
Can he do
on
it again
another
with Garrett
team?
Wilson,
Yeah.
who had no fantasy production last game?
0.9 points.
It was so sad.
Lost
I know.
me
I
my
feel
game.
for
He
Rudy.
had
Lost me
8
my game.
targets. He had 8 targets, only caught 2 balls.
That is. I didn't
He
watch
was-
the game, but
he was torching every corner he was against.
Yeah.
Just Zach
I
Wilson.
mean, I
was
saw a video of
not-
Wilson throwing it in the dirt when he was wide open, like nobody within 15 yards of him.
gosh,
I mean, I know the
I
Jets.
feel for the Jets,
The
man.
Jets
Yeah.
expected to have.
I feel for the
Zach
Jets
Wilson.
fans. They
I
were,
know.
got
Yeah.
They were
so
so
hyped.
hyped early this season.
I mean, you
What
got Brees
happened,
Hall.
what happened to Dalvin Cook?
I mean,
He completely disappeared.
You know,
old
he's
old
gone.
running backs. Honestly,
He's gone.
I mean, the NFL is turning into a draft running backs. Let him go 4 years franchise.
They
tag
let
and
Michael
ship him
Carter
off.
go too.
I don't know why they did that. I mean, did you see
Donovan
that?
Yeah,
Knight was
Brees Hall,
okay
but-
last year for a
You
few
see,
games.
you see that report where the Jets players had a player-only meeting, and then Michael Carter was the leader of the meeting, and 4 hours later he gets released.
Jeez.
What a bum organization.
Jeez.
Robert Saleh, those interviews he's had were like.
It's like, I really have no idea why we're starting.
Why
a
are we
terrible
starting Zach
quarterback.
Wilson?
Hey.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
All I'm
Let
saying
me ask
is
my owner.
Yeah, right.
this team with Aaron Rodgers could be really
Could
good.
be nasty, but
Their
we just don't
defense is filth. They got a true
Best defense.
RB1. I like Bruce Hall.
know. Brees Hall is elite.
I
He'd
like
be
Garrett
really
Wilson.
good when they have somebody to open up the game for.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But
I
if they
agree.
know the run's coming 3 out of 4 plays,
That,
They're just gonna
and that
stop
is
the run.
just like
yeah.
okay. I want to talk about. Actually, I'm not gonna. I'll wait for my top 5 in a minute. to
Yeah.
talk about
Oh
that.
yeah.
But yeah, Aaron Rodgers, I think it'll be too late for him, but I do think he can help him win out. I mean,
Yeah, but went out. I mean, in the
but
2 games
do
that
they
left,
do that, or do they?
Allow him
If
to
they
get
lose
healthy.
the next 2 games, do they just leave Aaron Rodgers on the bench and
Just
keep him
yeah,
for
just
next
so
year?
yeah.
But
You don't
we all
want
know
him
how
hurt.
stubborn Aaron Rodgers is.
That is
The
true.
dude won't
That's
take no
true.
for an answer.
No, he won't.
And like,
But
That's the kind of guy you want
I
at
will
quarterback.
say,
That's
yeah,
true.
that's who
Yeah,
you
you
want
want
there.
someone
But
who's stubborn
I
who
think
wants to help.
he'll still be smart enough to stay out because he wants to preserve his career long
That is
enough
true.
to play. So I think if they lose the next 2 games, Aaron Rodgers will not come back.
yeah, I feel like maybe if they even lose one of these games. maybe
They
one.
could still get in.
They could still get
they
in
could still get in
somehow,
9-7 if he helps them.
If they
win.
lose any of these next 2 games until week 16, where he thinks he might come back,
Right.
then yeah, it's done.
Yeah.
Denzel Washington right here.
Agreed.
Done.
So what were you gonna say?
No, this is our final topic. I was just gonna touch on Saquon.
So in the future, we're gonna have a bowl of these. We're gonna reach in. We're gonna pick them out. We have pink and yellow. So if
they'll
you
switch
grab-
every week, but for this
yeah.
week,
If you grab a yellow, then
It's,
you have to do a top 5 list of some kind of position.
yeah,
Is that right?
that's what I got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you draw out a pink, you have to give a hot take that is probably going to get you torched online.
And that's both of these two, so
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not doing that.
All right.
So Rudy, you got a hot take. I got.
You want to
a
start,
top
Rudy?
5.
I already know what this is.
Oh,
I
we
know
already
this
know what it is. I've said
Absolutely
this for
despise
Oh,
this.
here we go.
Michael Penix is horrible.
No.
Horrible. I don't care what his stats say.
Don't
All
listen to this
All right,
guy.
all right.
I'm going to let you talk for a minute.
Yeah.
He will be 24 years old when he's drafted, which is already old for a rookie. But for a rookie quarterback, you need to preserve. I mean, Lamar Jackson. You remember all those things where it was like, oh, Lamar Jackson's played 6 years in the league and he's already younger than Stetson Bennett. Like, see, you need youth at quarterback, especially if you want to develop them. And Michael Penix is someone who you need to develop, and he has injury issues. He tore his ACL in freshman year. He injured his joint, his JC joint, in his sophomore year. He tore the same ACL in 2020, 2 years after his freshman year, and then he injured another joint in 2021. So he's injury prone. He's left-handed. Left-handed quarterbacks, aside from Tua, have not panned out. Maybe
Michael
Steve
Vick?
Young, Michael Vick. Okay,
Michael Vick
True
was a
passer.
dog.
but you don't a dog. I don't know about that.
No way. No way.
All right, okay, but I mean, the receivers have to change what direction they catch the ball because right-handed throwers, the ball zips this way. But if you're left-handed, the ball zips that way, which makes the ball spin towards that way, so the trajectory's off. If you're used to a right-handed quarterback, you'll need to extend more because the ball is moving and flowing the other way. And, like, some left-handed quarterbacks who haven't been out, like Tim Tebow, who's the Cowboys coordinator. It's like Kellen something.
Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore, he played quarterback for the lefty for the Cowboys. Didn't do anything. I mean, and the dude has receivers who are carrying him so hard. Roma Dunze and Jalen Polk are 2 bona fide first-round receivers in my eyes, and they will go top 30. Seriously, they're elite receivers who are carrying Michael Penix. He's not that special. He
I got
is
you.
not that special at all.
Okay.
You
I don't
done?
think he is. I'm done. I'm done.
All right.
You
I'm
pleaded
done.
your
Your
case.
first point. He's too old. You have glazed Joe Burrow your
All right.
entire
That
life.
is so true.
And he was a 5th-year senior when he went into the draft.
All right. All right.
All right.
But
Injury
there's a
prone.
difference.
Joe Burrow
Well,
is hurt
let him
right now. Joe Burrow had Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase in
All right.
college.
In college, yep, he did.
All right.
Let's see. What else did you say? He's left-handed. Oh, left-handed quarterback. It zips the wrong way. At least if you're putting it on his hands, he's still going to make a team better.
Yeah, maybe.
He could go into Carolina and at least put it on the receiver's
That's
numbers.
exactly. That's so
Not onto
true.
the other team's hands.
Yes, I
They're
like
on
that.
Bland.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So I don't think you need to put all your
See-
weight into the negatives because he does have positives.
He has
He
positives.
can move around. He can make plays happen. So he can extend the play. So if you have a terrible offensive line, he can escape it. He's a bigger Kyler Murray, in my opinion.
I can see
So
like that.
I can
I
see
can
him
see that.
going way up or way down.
But
But
he got
I don't
always-
think he's
yeah.
a terrible quarterback.
Yeah, you're pretty wrong there. Yeah, I
I mean,
I
hey,
admit.
it's a hot take.
Those- yeah,
It's a hot take.
They're
You're
supposed
gonna
to
have
be hot.
people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he could
It's
be
hot.
absolutely
That's a hot
terrible.
take.
I'm not saying he's going to
Yeah.
go into the league and make any kind of difference, but I think he has the potential to.
Okay.
I like that.
Who we got next now? Harrison?
Want me to go
Yeah,
What's
next?
your,
yeah,
what's
you
your,
go.
what's your
Alright.
hot take? We'll save the position for last.
All right.
All right, I got Mac Jones being good on another team.
I like
so he's had
Honestly?
some terrible mistakes. I know that. He had a horrible pick the other day before he got benched. And it was one of the worst picks I've ever seen in my entire life. But I think he can be good. He hasn't had a great offensive coordinator while he's been in New England. He had a good rookie season despite the fact that he had no receivers, barely any help from running back, a terrible OC, just a defensive-minded coach in general
Like a
that would
special
rather
teams coordinator at offensive
Yeah.
coordinator.
Belichick would rather win 20-14 than to put up any points.
I
Really,
know.
I
Like,
mean,
you rather have that Rams Super Bowl like 13-3 like
right? He
snooze
doesn't. He
fest.
doesn't want to go out there and put up a bunch of points.
He wants a defensive minded like old school football, which
Exactly.
is not what you're supposed to do anymore.
No, it's
You're
not.
supposed
The
to
game
go
has
for
evolved,
one.
and it's
Yeah.
kind of left the Patriots style behind.
Exactly.
And I think that Mac Jones could go into a team if
Buccaneers.
he could go into the Buccaneers and be good. He could go into the Jets if Aaron Rodgers isn't there. And
You
be
go in the
good.
Packers if they ship Jordan Love
He
away.
could go into
Yeah.
the Packers and be good. He could. I think he'd be good on the Bears.
I can see that.
I could see him being good in plenty of organizations. I think he would do the same, not quite the same as C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud's having an incredible
Yeah.
year.
C.J. Stroud is.
I think he could be a good player with Texans. I think he could be a good player in several different situations.
Vikings.
But
He's just
yeah.
not in his situation.
Yeah,
right
I
now.
don't think he
And
is.
honestly, I
And-
think
yeah,
that factors in how he's not mature enough to run the Patriots offense.
exactly
Because-
I like
the Patriots
that.
offense requires a
He
better
requires
quarterback.
an
Yeah.
intelligent player who knows what he's doing. And Mac Jones.
But Mac Jones was never developed because he never
Yeah.
had an OC to develop him.
Exactly.
Yep.
When you have I know Bill O'Brien is a good offensive coordinator.
He is.
But
But he never really. I don't
he
think
was
he's
thrown-
really taken
yeah.
the time.
And I know that they won the game, but his rookie year, it was windy and snowy. The dude threw 3 passes. That's
Right.
not how you develop a rookie.
No, it's not.
When
Not at all.
And you got to
Yeah.
put him in those situations.
You need to make
like-
sure he knows how to adequately grip the ball, especially against
Right.
these top tier athletes.
Exactly.
Like
exactly.
allowing Ramondre Stevenson and James White to pound the rock. I mean, I know they won, but
Right.
that's not good for the future when you're not letting him go through these conditions that he might face if he plays in a cold weather team like he's in now.
Yeah, if he
Yeah.
goes and plays against the Bills,
If he's
he's
a
going to lose
liability in
every
the
time
snow,
he plays with the Bills. I
If,
mean,
if he's a liability in the snow, it comes playoff time and
Yeah.
it's snowing in Foxborough.
then he just needs to move to
Game
freaking
over.
Tampa. Yeah.
Game over.
I like that. I like that take. I don't have
Yeah.
anything to disagree with it. I
Yeah,
like
nothing
Mac
to disagree
Jones.
with.
I would
He's
like to
just
see
not
Mac
in
Jones
this-
on another team. And
he's not in this
I think he'll
position
go
right
to
now.
another team
Oh, yeah.
because they're not going to put him in over Bailey Zappi very much anymore this year. I don't
I like that. I like
Hopefully
that.
not after that
So,
spike pick
yeah.
or whatever the heck that
And
was.
I mean, Mac Jones's confidence has to be just absolutely in the toilet right now.
Gosh, that's awful, dude. I hate it.
I
for
feel
him.
for
I
his mental
really
health
feel
right
bad
now,
for
'cause,
him.
I feel for him. Just
And
like the
I'm
Jets
not a-
fans,
I'm
I
not
feel
a
for y'all
big
too.
proponent of Bama quarterbacks because they usually don't pan out in the league. There's been a few, but this is one Bama quarterback that I had really high hopes for that has kind of gotten torched in the league.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see him go somewhere and do well.
All right.
What
So,
you got in that position?
Last topic of the day. I drew a yellow, so that means I'm gonna list the top 5 position chart. And I'm gonna go. Let's go running backs. That's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna look at it from a fantasy standpoint. I'm a big fantasy guy. Number 1, I don't think it's any question. Possibly the best fantasy running back ever in Christian McCaffrey.
Oh,
Probably
yeah.
the best player in the
Oh,
league.
yeah.
Like, if he didn't
I
get
mean,
hurt this year,
Christian
another
McCaffrey,
MVP
yeah,
candidate.
he's so good, dude.
I mean, what do you have? He broke the record for the longest consecutive games with
Yeah,
a
with
touchdown.
a touchdown. He only lost
He
it
almost
last
lost
week,
it,
and then
yeah.
he
And then he
lost it
scored
last
another
week,
one.
and then
He
scored
started
this
another
week.
streak.
So.
So
He's a dog. That's my true number 1 for sure.
he
Number
can pass
2.
it, he can run it, he can catch it. He had that trifecta that
Yeah,
one
he
game.
did,
Yeah,
he did.
He threw a touchdown.
Christian McCaffrey. I love Christian McCaffrey. Hate it for the Panthers.
Yeah.
Man.
Put him at quarterback.
Should have. Maybe it would have worked out. Number 2, I like Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs is a dude that I'm really, really high on.
Trade him away.
They're finally
Ooh.
giving his.
Trade him away.
Yeah.
He's got David Montgomery behind him who's also putting up points. So I
I
really
know.
like the Lions backfield in general. But I like Jahmyr Gibbs,
He's finally
who
getting
I
his
think
touches.
is
He's getting-
he's
yeah.
getting his touches,
They're
and
starting
He's using them.
yeah,
Yeah,
he is proving
yeah.
that he is superior out of the 2 backs in Detroit. And I like Jahmyr Gibbs a lot for the rest of the season.
He was key in their victory the other
Yes.
day. Without him,
Yep.
they weren't winning.
were
They were
not,
not
yeah.
coming back
Oh, yeah.
yesterday.
Yep.
It just helps that he's just one of the most fluid.
Rookie days,
He
yeah.
has he's a natural runner, and he
Yeah.
can catch the ball. He probably could have run a 4.28 40 if he actually tried. But the dude
He's
is,
Pacheco with a little more finesse, so he
Oh.
maneuvers a little better.
Number 3, another guy who, I mean, he hasn't done great this season, but it's Saquon Barkley, who put up 30 fantasy
Oh, yeah.
points even last
that
week.
floater from DeVito in the end zone.
2 reception touchdowns.
With Danny DeVito at quarterback.
Yeah, with Danny.
Which
Danny
has to be,
DeVito.
that
Who
has to be
lives
the
in his
most
parents' basement.
impressive stat ever.
He had a
That is
30-point game last week with Danny DeVito at quarterback, who is
Danny
finally
DeVito.
Tommy DeVito. He's opening up the pass game.
He is.
He is.
He had
More than
270
Daniel Jones
yards.
or
Saquon
Tyrod
has
Taylor
made
has.
Tommy DeVito a good quarterback,
Which is
which ridiculous.
Yeah.
to
honestly,
say. Like,
he didn't even
Tommy
look that bad
DeVito,
without Saquon. I mean, he threw a really good pass to
Right. I
Darius.
think. Well, if he didn't
Dar-
make
yeah.
that play to Saquon early on, I don't think he would have done that because he had no confidence.
No confidence.
Because he's thrown 15 passes all year, and half of them have been
There was
interceptions.
207. He goes home and
Right.
looks like Italian food or something.
Exactly,
Of his
yeah.
parents' basement.
Get some spaghetti and linguine.
Yep, DeVito opening up that pass game is going to help Saquon a lot out, and I'm super thankful because I know I have him in one of my leagues. Rudy has him, I know. And okay, so number 4, we got Austin Eckler, who has been letting me down a little bit the
Those
last
past
couple
few
weeks.
weeks. Same with Derrick Henry.
You see that?
Same with
video of him,
Derrick Henry.
jumping
Derrick
on
Henry,
the
man.
ground.
I hate-
like 8 combined points
I
last
hate it
2
for
weeks.
Derrick Henry. But Austin Eckler, who's on that Chargers team, who just can't find a way to win.
Oh no. Oof.
His upside is ridiculous, though. He's one of the
it's
best. He's one of the best pass catchers
In the league, honestly.
in the league,
On a
especially at
on a
his
team
position.
that has to throw the ball because they let up so many points. Which
Exactly.
On all 5 of my running backs, pretty much are good pass catchers, but these last 2 guys are really good. Austin Eckler, I really like his upside. I mean, he's got 20 to 30 point upside in fantasy, and I like
he's
that.
still one of the best running backs in the league. He's
Yeah.
just in a situation where he doesn't get to run the ball very much, so he has to go out and catch it, and he's exhausted.
Yeah.
He's carried that
yeah.
team.
He is.
I think he is.
Yeah.
Like he's on roids or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Austin Eckler, man. So his upside is ridiculous. I like Austin Eckler. All right, my last and final, possibly the best pass catching running back in the league right now, Alvin
Is that a hot
Kamara.
take? That's a hot take.
That's a hot. I'm putting that as my. I'm gonna add a hot take in here. Alvin Kamara as the best pass catching running back
over McCaffrey.
over
Oh,
McCaffrey.
no, I don't know.
Over
about that.
McCaffrey.
I don't know about that.
Okay, well, it's not my hot take, but that's my. I mean, I don't have a hot take, but that's my hot take of the week. He's a top 10 ranked running back, missing the first 3 weeks due to suspension.
That's well. I guess he's a real bruiser, isn't he?
Yeah, right.
He's a
Real
top.
physical
No,
pass
listen to that. He's a top 10 ranked running back.
Goes out there and
At his
assaults
position.
defenses all day.
Real sucker
And
punch.
dude, he missed the first 3 weeks. Dude is averaging, I believe, like 20
Punches in a game.
20 points a game. That's crazy, Rudy. He doesn't have to score touchdowns.
No, because he's
And
got
that's so
many
good.
yards, Yeah.
Yeah.
From a running
For
back
a
standpoint,
running back,
fantasy,
he does not
you
have
don't
to
want a
flash,
guy who is just relying on touchdowns, and that's not Alvin Kamara. So I'm glad that I'm happy to put him at my 5, and I'm also happy to say that I have a lot of these guys in my league. So
I don't.
I will say one thing on the Gibbs take.
Yep.
Gibbs, I definitely agree with you. But don't discount David Montgomery because he may only go for 15
Yeah.
yards, but he's
They'll
going
get
to get a
2 touchdowns.
touchdown
Yeah.
if they get in the red zone.
Yeah,
true.
exactly.
I just don't like putting guys like that on my list who are just like
Right, no, I'm
relying
not saying
on
he's
touchdowns.
not a top 5
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
But I'm saying, like, don't forget about David Montgomery.
Which is
'cause he's
ridiculous
still there.
that you have 2 top 10 fantasy running backs for
Right.
sure
Exactly.
on the same team, and you have a Monroe St. Brown who
Let's
is
take a
the-
minute for the Lions.
Who's good?
Like,
The
oh my
Lions,
God.
man.
Insane.
The
Yeah. Like I said,
Lions.
Their defense
Dan
is so
Campbell,
underrated.
man.
I
mean,
love the
crazy.
Lions, dude.
They got Aiden Hutchinson. They got like their edge rushers. Didn't they have like 3 edge rushers that had over 5 sacks who were rookies last year? They had James Houston. They had Aiden Hutchinson. I forget the other guy's name, but they went crazy. They had like
Oh, I
18-ish
got it.
combined sacks
Yeah.
last
They-
year
Yeah.
alone, and most of those were from Hutchinson. But
Yeah.
I mean,
I know the other
yeah.
guy you're talking about. I can't remember his name.
I really like the Lions this year, man.
they're
Yeah.
elite.
I
They
think,
could go far in the playoffs.
I don't think they have a really tough road to get to
Yeah.
the Super Bowl. I mean,
Yeah.
except they'll have to play the Eagles, probably.
I think
Which
they
is-
can win that.
Yeah, or the Niners.
The Eagles
one
is a
of the
tough
two,
team to
so-
beat, man.
It is.
But
You see Jalen Carter almost pick off that spike?
oh my god!
How do you
yeah.
manage
Dude,
that?
I literally
How do you
saw that.
manage that?
I saw that last night
He
on
was an
TikTok.
inch
I
away.
love.
An
If
inch
you would have caught that,
away.
that could have been a top 5 play of all time on defense.
Oh my god.
Just
Yeah,
That's up there with like that Vince Wilfork pick 6.
and that's what we're talking about with the tush push. They are reinventing and inventing new plays. I love to see that
the creativity
as
from
a
the
team.
Eagles.
I
is
mean,
unmatched.
I love the Eagles.
They're
fans.
Let's give a shout out to Jalen Ramsey real quick too. 2 picks.
Jalen
Ramsey,
Oh,
really?
dude laid his life
I
out for
counted
that
him
team.
out. I counted him so out.
Oh my
I did
god,
too.
he
I
is
thought there was
back.
no way he'd come back from injury.
Jalen
and be
Ramsey
good.
is
If he gonna be the same he was?
No, he is
Like, that's
fearless.
what-
He's
you
the
don't
only,
throw-
like
you-
he's the most fearless defensive back in
I
the
know,
league.
he's so physical. It helps that he's
Yeah.
like a large corner, so he can effectively cover like D-Hop.
Yep.
Right.
And it, like,
right, Mike Evans.
why are
He
you still
can
trying to
guard
throw
those
him?
guys.
That's why he has so many picks.
Why are you
They're
throwing?
to him
Why
because
are
they
you
think
throwing
he's
at
fast.
Jalen Ramsey?
Why would you
Exactly.
try? Why would you think of it? Why? The dude is
Yeah.
like a Hall of Famer for a reason.
Yep.
The dude talks
Had
so
to
much
give him a
crap
shout
for a
out.
reason.
Had to give him a shout out.
Oh, yeah.
That was really impressive the other day.
Oh yeah, especially coming off
Yeah.
an injury, especially
Yep.
at his age for corners coming off an injury,
Right.
a long injury. It was
Yeah.
like a knee.
Like, I
issue
didn't
or
think he was
something,
gonna come
maybe.
back.
I thought he'd
thought
be
he was
like.
done.
I thought they shut
I
him
thought he
down,
was done
but-
too.
Yeah.
I thought he was done for his career, maybe.
I did
Do
too.
that, but
I'm glad to see him back.
Yeah,
Glad to see him
I
doing
am,
big
yeah.
things in
He's really good.
Miami.
You got anything else?
I
I
think
think
so.
that's
I think that's it.
All right.
That's been it for the Triple Threat Podcast. Your boy Cohen,
You know,
Rudy,
boy Rudy,
and Harrison, and
Harry.
we're out. We'll see you next week.
See us
so.
on YouTube,
Spotify,
Spotify,
maybe Apple
maybe
Music.
Apple Music if we get
Possibly.
that figured out.
Yep.
And then follow us on Instagram and send us your questions for
Triple
next
Threat
week.
Sports Pod
Yep.
on Instagram.
Email triplethreadsportspod@gmail.com. Put it on our
If you want
stories.
any
Send us your
questions answered.
get those in, and we'll do those
Yep.
next week.